Hello and welcome. I am Raziel, and Lucius the Eternal was a great swordsman, even before his fall to Slaanesh. In the last years of the Great Crusade, just before the Horus Heresy itself, his fame grew amongst the legions of the Adeptus Astartes, often lauded as the best fencer of the Emperor's children. As with all legionnaires of the Third Legion, Lucius was obsessed with perfection. For some of his brothers it was art, others it was their looks. For Lucius, it was the art of the blade. And his skill was undeniable. It was his selfless attitude, mixed with his single-mindedness, that put him at loggerheads with the officers of the Third Legion. It seemed that the only real reason Lucius fought in the Great Crusade, well, it had nothing to do with the Emperor's grand plan to unite the human race. For Lucius, it was to prove he was the greatest swordsman in the galaxy. Soon his search for glory only seeded his arrogance, and these two things combined, his arrogance and his search for glory, started to twist Lucius into a bitter, jealous space marine. This in turn led him down the path of treachery and treason. His once handsome face became a web of self-inflicted scars. His obsession to become the best only grew until the once proud son of Fulgrim was no more than an envious, selfish, bitter being. The civil war to Lucius was no more than a theatre to perform his fine art of swordsmanship, to shed blood for the sake of performance and callous showmanship. After the fall of Horus, the traitors had been routed from Holy Terror and pushed into the Eye of Terror. But Lucius continued to fight, soon equating pain to success, often seeing gloating with prideful nature that seemed perverse. Now, it was this perverted sense of pride that was centered around his myriad of scars. Now, about this time, voices started to fill the swordsman's head. Voices, well, none of the other brothers could hear. These voices goaded Lucius into further acts of wanton murder and depravity, all in the name of being the best swordsman. This seemed to come to an end when Fulgrim announced another gladiatorial battle. Yet Fulgrim often held these just for his amusement. Lucius, obviously being the showman and the egotist that he is, could not pass up the chance to show off his skills, only to be struck down by one of his Genefather's favourite commanders, one Lord Commander Sirius. Wait, there's a Slaaneshi Norseman called Sirius. Are you kidding me? That's fantastic! Slaanesh was not happy with his outcome, however, and soon Sirius's hair started falling out, scars started to appear all over his body and armour, and during an incredibly painful transition, Sirius was gone, and Lucius remained. All that remained of the former Lord Commander was his face, forever screaming on Lucius's armour. This event has given the proudful swordsman a reason to be more arrogant. Well, now he cannot die. If anyone slays Slaaneshi's champion and takes satisfaction, yeah, honestly, it's satisfaction and not pride, which makes of the world of difference. If you think about it, pride is, yes, I'm really happy I defeated Lucius. Satisfaction could be just, I've made it out of that battle. But it's finished. So yeah, that's actually quite interesting, that wording itself. It's not pride, it's satisfaction. Anyway, those who take satisfaction in his death are taken over by the Slaaneshi swordsman. This transformation is neither wanted nor pleasant. It's absolutely torturous and agonizing. And all that remains of a swordsman's executioner is their screaming face upon his armor. Now, looking at Lucius' weapons, they have changed since the Horus Heresy. Well, during the Horus Heresy, he would wield two swords. One, the 19, and the Lair Blade. See, the 19 is a blade of great smith work, and Lucius doesn't care about that. He really doesn't. It's a sword, it's a tool to him. And where he got it, no one knows. It's probably a trophy from one of his kills, but Lucius doesn't care. He knows where he got it from, he just doesn't care. And the other one is the Lair Blade. This sword is a very interesting sword and deserves more of a deep dive on its own, and it has a varied history. This is the sword that laid Horus low. It almost killed the Primarch, which means it's a very dangerous sword. And it was gifted to Lucius by his own Primarch, Fulgrim. Now, apparently the blade was lost after the Horus Heresy and found again. At the moment, it seems to be in the hands of the Black Legion. I mean, it is in the Codex as a useful weapon, as a bit of special war gear, as a relic. Well, now Lucius carries his duelist sword, which is just basically a sword. Again, this might just be the 19. And then instead of a second blade, he uses Lash of Torment. Now, the Lash of Torment is, like all demon weapons, because that is a demon weapon, sentient, and has a will of its own. In battle, it will move independently from Lucius, attempting to crawl around any living being foolish enough to get close. Once it has trapped a victim, the lash will writhe and constrict around the hapless being and slowly suffocating and cutting it to pieces with its multiple barbs. Oh, how lovely is that? Anyway, there you go. Bit of a quick one for about Lucius the Eternal, an interesting character of the Emperor's Children. He's one of the oldest ones. He fought during the Great Crusade, the Horus Heresy, and now the Long War. He is just brutal, he's arrogant, and of course he cannot die. I don't like him much, to be honest with you. He's not one of my favourite characters, but you voted for him, so you decided it. And honestly, I don't mind. You want to talk about it, I will talk about Warhammer. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed this video. It was interesting to look up and read, and it took more than one book to get the information this time. And thank you very much, and I'll see you all soon. As always, there is a link to Whaling Games if you want money off of Warhammer. There is a link to Forbidden Planet if you like comics, and they do Warhammer stuff. There is my comics, there is my merchandise such as my t-shirts, stickers, phone cases, etc, etc, and there is Patreon. Once again, I'd like to say thank you for everyone watching. I really do appreciate it. Leave a comment down below, like, comment and subscribe as always. And I will get back to you. I will try and reply as I always do. And I'll see you very soon. Going to burn this out for another minute because 8 minutes, of course.